Hello and welcome along to the start of a brand new season from this FM20 story, The Head Coach with me, Daniel. For those of you that didn't see the live stream on Sunday, we're heading into our first championship game with Salford again, at the second attempt after being relegated just after joining, of course. It's Juninho Park. That's a brilliant name for a stadium. Didn't notice that before. That's fantastic. Charlie Adam in charge of Middlesbrough, and we have got a big problem. Yes, those of you that were here on Sunday will already know exactly what that is. For the rest of you, we'll explore that in a minute. There is a link to the live stream on Sunday in the eye above. A massive thank you to everyone that came along and supported. I really do appreciate it. It was brilliant to interact with so many of you in the chat as well. I really had a great time. Thank you for helping solve the initial audio issues. It really was brilliant in the end, so I'll definitely do a lot more live streaming in the future. Let me know the sort of thing you'd want to see. But we're here for a brand new season. It's the head coach, it's Salford City, and it's probably not going to go very well. Firstly, if you are looking forward to this season, please do put a thumbs up on the video. I'm going to need all the support I can get. And again, those that saw the stream will know exactly why. We'll go and talk about transfers in a minute, which is where most of the problems lie. We can't be unfair there. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel for daily FM20 content. We've got the two long-term stories rotating from Monday to Saturday. On Sunday, we've got our new stadium review series, a real footballing podcast this time. A massive thanks for your help and support with the first one on Sunday. We had a great time making it and I hope you enjoyed it too. And in this Sunday we'll also have a midday debut on the channel, an FM network career, a National League themed one, so a bit of an interesting one. Two teams I couldn't really see much content for on YouTube. They're quite big sides at that level, so I'm looking forward to it, and I've got a special co-host with me for that one as well. And finally, I'm also featured on a network career over on the Honest Football podcast, and again I'll put a link to all these things in the eye above. But we're here for Salford City today, for now anyway. We tried our very best to get out on Sunday, but we weren't able to do so. A couple of job interviews, was it CSKA Moscow and Cagliari, but we didn't get any offers from it. At the moment, there's still not really any jobs going. You probably wouldn't expect so in August. But if we have a look, just one in Greece. Quite a nice league. I've liked being there. I think it was Astros Tripolis I've been before. Let me go and have a look. I've probably pronounced that horribly. No, it is. They were the team. I had a series off save with them 4 or 5 years ago. It was absolutely brilliant. I loved it. So if a good job comes up in Greece, I might take it. But as it is, Aris, are they a bigger side? Not really. Their key player, Chris Ramos, no better than any of our strikers. So we've got to be reasonable here. If we're going abroad, we've got to make money. But hang on, Sporting Lisbon's job's just come up. So we're going to go and put a bit of focus on that instead. We'll get to the transfers, we'll get to all of that. But Sporting Lisbon's here, we can't turn it down. Of course, that's the club that we finished our career at in the head coach last year. FM19, the final season was there. We're competing with the likes of Gennaro Gattuso, so I can't imagine it going too well. But there's no harm in trying, is there? We've got to give it a go. So we've applied for the Sporting Lisbon job, but let's go and focus on our season. So the transfer window is what we've got to talk about. We'll round up what went on during that window, during the live stream on Sunday. Chris Casper's still here as Director of Football, but interestingly, in the second tier of English football, he's working on non-contract terms. So the chairman's not offered him a new deal, he's not sacked him and got someone better. He's just left us in a bit of a lurch, and it's a very difficult position, because he's not working to his utmost, he's not working as hard, he's not working full time, and he's just causing us a few headaches. But we'll get back to that in a moment. We've got one pending deal which happens and started just a couple of days ago for Jakob Costello. He's a decent left winger and striker, but as you know, the only player we need really in the attacking three is a right-sided player. So it's not going to help us a great deal. But of course, good players coming in, filling the bench is what we need. And the reason for that is our summer transfer window. We signed 5 players. 4 of them are new signings. One was already pre-agreed and isn't good enough to even kick a ball for this club. But let's go and look at the release players first, because it looks okay with just a couple going out. But in terms of release players, we've got Zach Brown, Bailey Clements and Tunji Akinola from the first team. We've also got the loan expiration of Ben Sibley, Robbie Porter, Paul Beresford, Lucas Smith, and I think I'm missing one other as well. Who's the 5th one I'm missing? Archie Dixon went back, but obviously you just saw he's come back again. And there's definitely one other who I've missed out. Oh, Callum Reynolds, the central midfielder. Or was it Charlie Reynolds? Charlie Reynolds, I think. I think I'm getting mixed up with my Barnet save there. But 5 loan players that have left and not come back. 3 that have been released. 2 that have gone out on loan, including remarkably Kyle John 2 days ago. A position where we have no backup at right back or right midfield. And he loaned out Kyle John. So he's gone to Scunthorpe, one of our former clubs we're helping out there. Charlie Savage has gone off on loan to Grimsby. Chris Casper formerly an assistant there. So no wonder he rejected loads of permanent deals and then gave him away for nothing. But we've only got 5 players to talk about. The first is George Williams, who we met already. It was pre-agreed in January, and it was a bad signing then. Now we've been promoted to the Championship. He's a year older at 33, and it's an even worse signing. Yes, he's fairly professional, but he's not even a League 2 player at best. I mean, maybe he could have played in that Halifax side we had then, but anything beyond that, he wouldn't have been good enough for Scunthorpe. Certainly wasn't good enough for Salford last year in League 1. So I'm very annoyed at that signing. But he's in the under-23s because he's not going to be playing much this year. Although he might be forced to, as we'll see in a moment. Then we then got Stephen Edmondson-Roos. He's our big signing. £1.2 million from Fulham. Another left-back, as Chris Casper's obsessed. We all know that. Decent player. Very good physically. Very good mentally for a young player. Technically, he's pretty average for a fullback, but he's only 22. He's our top paid player now, and he's got room for improvement. So I feel he's going to be a good signing long term, but defensively he's not the best. So we might have to put him as a more attacking fullback. We'll just see how that goes as we move along. Then next up is a really baffling one. And the reason for that, as those who were in the live stream will know again, we had this loan bid in for Proctor from Leeds, who's a young centre-half. He was absolutely brilliant. It got rejected. He didn't then put in a new offer. And we got this guy instead, Nathan McGinley, who's 29 years of age. He's an average player. He's okay. He's a decent 4th choice centre-half, but he's not any more than that. He's paying him £4,000 a week, which is more than over half the squad. And it just doesn't really make any sense. It's a bit of a letdown. He's left-footed, so it balances the defence okay, I guess, but it's not enough. And the fact that he might have to start today, despite being weaker than probably all 4 of the centre-halves we had here last year, is a massive reason we're going to be coming straight back down. If we don't, it's a managerial mastermind. I'm going to take that credit straight away. The one positive that came about, obviously, was that Archie Dixon did come back. Why it took him 5 weeks to do so, I'm not sure. But we have got him back. We're paying his wages. He's a superstar, as we know from last year. And then finally, just a week or so before the season, Greg Johnston joined on loan from Celtic. A young right-back, just 18 years of age. But his stats are very similar to Robbie Porter last year. Maybe slightly better physically, which will help us playing 2 games a week. But otherwise, a really decent young player. And we're not complaining about most of these signings. I mean, bar McGinley and obviously Williams that was pre-agreed. The other 3 are very good deals. It's just the fact that there's so few of them. And the reason that's a problem, if we go to the squad, is that we can barely name an 18 today. So we've got, I'm going to just have a look here. I've promoted some players. We've got 5, 7, 8, 9, 10. Bear with me while I'm counting. We've got 18 players in this first team squad. I've promoted everyone, I think, apart from George Williams and Mark Aldnall, the 2 youngsters. Not the 2 youngsters, sorry. 1 youngster and then George Williams, who he signed in the summer. We've got Adam Randell injured, so that's 17. 2 of them are keepers. So George Williams is going to have to be on the bench and make up the squad. There's some positions where we haven't got 2 players at all. There's some where we've barely got 1. I mean, we've got 2 goalkeepers, which is fine. We've got 3 centre-halves, including 1 who was a backup last year and 1 that was worse than him. We've got 1 left back, 1 right back. 2 left backs, sorry, 1 right back. He'd never leave us with just 1 left back, would he? We've got Charlesworth in the middle, Ben Close, Williams, Dixon, Randell. So 5 players, that's not too bad. On the right wing, we've got Teller, who was a backup last year, and Sam Taylor, who was out on loan in League 2. On the left, we've still got Labala and Grant. And up front, we've got Connor Chaplin and nobody else. So maybe it's Aldnall who will have to go on the bench. The centre forward, who can't finish, who's not very good, who couldn't even get a loan to a National League club last year. You can see where my problems are. I mean, I'm not going to lie and say I'm delighted with how things are going. I'm very upset. There's 5 days of the window left. Transfer deadline day better be busy, because otherwise this is going to be a long, hard season, and we know we're going to be coming straight back down. But I'm going to go off and pick the team. I'll leave on the dynamic screen before we do so. That's very good because there hasn't been much change, of course. But I'll go and pick my 11 and 18. And we'll be back in a moment to announce the lineup for this first game away at Middlesbrough. We've picked our lineup. We're back for the fixture. Let's go and just confirm that Middlesbrough are favourites. They are, and they're pretty heavy favourites. Especially for the first game of the season, actually. Zach Medley suspended. Might help us slightly, I don't know. But this is the 11 we've gone for, and there's basically no choice, as you can see. So we've got Horgard in goal. He's ended his unhappiness, which is a good thing for us. We've got Johnston at right back, Edmondson-Roos at left back, we've swapped their duties. So one's on automatic and one's on defend, but it's the opposite way round to last year. We've got Sykes and Nelson at centre-half together. Sid Nelson a backup last year in League One, now starting in the Championship. Ben Close in a holding role. Dixon joined by Joe Williams in midfield, another one who was a backup the second half in League One. And then Teller, another one in that category. Labala on the left wing and Chaplin up front. You can see their star ratings are actually quite high, and they've improved a lot of them since last year. That's not because they've become better players, that's because we've got less good players here. So they're being compared with the rest of the squad, and there's not as many stars now. So that's why that's a little bit worse. But otherwise, we're going to get into this game. I can't imagine it's going to go well. We're trying to stick with a defensive tactic, but a more positive mentality. So we try and keep the ball, try and push those players forward. We've still got a bit of discipline, so it should help us out. But let's go and get into it. There's not more to be said. We've just got to see if we can pull off a miracle here. Well, we've got a reunion and a bit of a weird tactic up against us. I mean, we're already seeing the gravity of the task here. It's Rob Holding at centre-half, Alfie Mawson. We've got Paddy McNair still there, Lewis Wing as well. They're playing a flat 3-5-2, which is weird. And then over on the left wing, we've got Sregova. And he's a player that we had at Charlton who did really decently for us there. He's ended up at Middlesbrough. He's a good player. I mean, certainly better than anyone we've got. He's earning 30 grand a week, 3 times the amount of our best paid player. And he's probably not even their top player. I recognise this name as well, and I'm not sure why. Might be from FM19. But otherwise, we're in a spot of bother here. Sam Johnston in goal, another good keeper. They've got Vukatic on the bench. We had him at Charlton too. Have they just been doing 100 swap deals with them? We're going to say there's no pressure on the lads. I know Richie Barker wants to encourage them, but what's there to encourage? We're underdogs. We've got to try and fight. We've got to create a siege mentality. It's basically us, Wimbledon and one other, according to the media. But we've picked up the ball early on with Chaplin. On the right-hand side, he goes back to Johnston. Into Dixon in the middle. Can we get an early goal? That would be something to cling on to. I don't mind going time wasting in the 5th minute. Don't you worry about that. Archie Dixon again, going on a run. He's the only star. What's a ball for Labala? But it's saved. It's not good. It's straight at the keeper. We just had to be a little bit more composed there. Labala's going to take the corner himself. Into the front post. Nelson heads wide. 2 good chances in 5 minutes have gone begging. And they're not the sort you can afford to miss at this level. Here we go again though. We've still got possession on the right. 12 minutes in now. We're still keeping it. Ben Close hopefully will be a star at this level too. One of the few players that can step up. Lovely curled ball over for Teller. At the byline crosses. Labala's there. He's missed another one. Burley, Labala, you've got to score those. We need you to get on top of this. We should be 2-0 up. It's 20 minutes gone, it's still 0-0, and you just know we're going to live to regret these missed chances. It's Paddy McNair to Mawson again, wing over the left, Dabber's there, can't run but he's beating our players. Teller does very well defensively. He goes long, Chaplin gets there, holds it up for Joe Williams, lucky deflection to create that. Finds Ben Close, he's running into space, has he got more composure? Puts Labala in again, does he know? Dixon, Chaplin, oh just over. I thought it might have been offside but the flag stayed down. And with 23 gone, we should be 3-0 up. And as it is, it's 0-0. And we're going to regret this. You can just tell that Middlesbrough are going to nick one. We've dominated the game. We've not got a Lucas Smith getting 20 goals. We're missing that out of our team. But again, we're surging forward. It's Labala on the left. Picks it up. Cuts inside. Here's Ben Close. Have a go. You might as well. The strikers aren't scoring. Joe Williams picks it up. Labala in. Oh, he's missed another one. The flag's up for offside eventually, but the composure is atrocious. What is his finishing rating? Labala, 11 for finishing, 12 for composure. Surely wouldn't be missing all of those. The one thing that is good to take out of this is we're absolutely dominating. Johnston again on the right delivers. To the back post, it's saved by Sam Johnston, the keeper. Not the best cross in the world, but we have been the dominant force here. I know we're going to concede and we might lose, but at least there are signs of hope. It's Hedmonds Roos heading away poorly. Finds Yappy on the right wing for Middlesbrough. The tactic doesn't seem to be working, but I say that as they've gone in one-on-one. Yappy and scores. There's the difference. Their right midfielder goes in. 1 chance, 1 goal. We've had 4 brilliant chances and wasted all of them. And somehow we're behind to Middlesbrough here. How on earth has that happened? I don't know. But with this lack of efficiency in front of goal, it's going to be a very long, hard season for Salford City. Half-time has come. It is 1-0 to Middlesbrough. We're going to say we appreciate the efforts. The assistant's right. We've been brilliant. Richie Barker, you're spot on. You got your new deal and you've got this right, so no problem with that. Labala and Chaplin's ratings are poor because they keep missing chances all over the place. But otherwise, a good first half performance and not rewarded in front of goal. 25 minutes remaining, and I'm going to make that change. George Grant, the transfer listed winger, is coming on for Labala. He's missed so many chances, he can't complain. That's the only one for now, I think. There's a few lads frustrated, anxious, whatever it may be. We're going to demand more from them, try and take their mind off it. Hasn't really worked, and it's a Middlesbrough corner. Rogova in, Sykes heads away. Nathan Teller clears long. Is there anyone up there? Chaplin loses out, but Grant picks it up. We've got a 2-on-2 here. Grant's gone all the way. He's on his own. Must score. It's saved. Oh, why can't our left winger score a goal? That's 5 great chances now. I'd love to see which ones have been classed as clear-cut. We've got another throw on the right. Can we at least nick a point? We definitely deserve that. Johnston, the new right-back. Into Archie Dixon. Finds Ben Close. Joe Williams. There's 3 or 4 off him. One of them's George Grant. He's saved again. And then he's along the line. Oh my word. Teller on the right hand side. The attack's still not over. Johnston crosses to the back post. Jelenic beats him in the air. Headed away as far as Wright Phillips, who clears. And it's somehow still 1-0 Middlesbrough. This has been one of the best performances we've had in ages. How we're losing, I'll never know. We've got a couple more changes to make. Is there anything else we can do? Teller's a bit tired, so I'm going to bring Sam Taylor on. And Joe Williams will replace with Charlesworth. Like for like swaps, because we can't do much else. But I don't know what to say. We've been brilliant. Absolutely brilliant at everything apart from being in front of goal. It's the only area that's let us down. We're going to go attacking. We're going to just ask the lads to push forward. But 3 minutes of stoppage time, it's going to be all over. Taylor's picked it up. Hang on a minute. Poor kick from the keeper from a free kick out wide. Sam Taylor, oh, almost a hero. Goes in from an acute angle. It's straight at the keeper. He was never really going to beat him from there. AFC Wimbledon relegation rivals nicking a draw at Birmingham. How we haven't got at least a draw, I don't know. Rogova picks it up. It's 15 seconds left. It's not going to be our day. Paddy McNair out for a goal kick. That'll be just about it. I don't know how we've lost. I'm absolutely speechless. How have we lost that game? Middlesbrough win 1-0. We were brilliant. We dominated. Labala missed more chances than you'll ever get in your life. And we'll tell the lads, they gave it everything. We need to keep them on side. They were brilliant in that performance. Archie Dixon and Ben Close putting through balls through all day long. And we just need to find someone who can finish. We've got 5 days left of the transfer window. A big game coming up against Ipswich as well. And we just need some magic from Casper or a very good replacement. There we go then. No team bar one has lost by more than a goal, so we happen to be in the relegation zone. Seems incredibly harsh on that performance. Edmondson Roos, Sam Taylor and Greg Johnston all made debuts. Archie Dixon shined, 6 key passes, covered the most ground. What a fantastic player. We're unlucky in defeat according to the media, and that's absolutely spot on. It wasn't a below par spectacle, we were fantastic. We just missed chance after chance. We'll deal with a press conference off camera, we don't need to worry about that. The dynamics haven't taken a hit, actually they've improved if anything, so maybe the lads have taken some confidence from that performance. We've tried to set up mentoring groups, big social groups as well. I hope that'll work as the season goes on. All bar 4 actually in that group already, so that's a really good sign for us moving forward. If we can get Edmondson Roos in there and Johnston, who are going to be key players, that'll make a big difference. Jakob Costello would fit in if we signed him, so let's hope that deal gets done as well. Because as we've seen today, I've been proven wrong actually for Casper. I said, why on earth do we need a left winger? If we can get a left winger who can finish, he could be the difference maker this season. In that game, he may well have won us it. The only problem is, if he's not an inside forward, will he then cut in and get the chances? I don't know on that front, we'll have to wait and see. But loads of transfer and wage budget remaining. Surely a busy transfer deadline day in store. Surely he's going to make some deals happen. He has to. Either that or we'll get the Sporting Lisbon job, but we're not going to worry about that for now. Let's have a look at when we might next be back. I think we've got to go for a big game in September, and it's AFC Wimbledon. And the reason for that is they're the other club that are expected to come down with us. If we can't beat them, then what on earth do we expect to do? I may come back earlier. Of course, we could get a Carabao Cup second round tie or third round tie against big opposition. We've also got Luton at the start of October, so if things are going well, I might delay until then. But we'll be back in a month or two's time. We need to make sure we've got a big transfer deadline day. I'm hoping Casper can produce for us. And we really need something special from him here. In fact, we don't need something special. We need him to do what a director of football should do. Sign 3 or 4 good solid players, make the use of the loan market, use your transfer budget, give us something to work with and a chance to stay up. But in the meantime, we'll be playing these games off camera. A massive thank you to everyone who came along for the start of a new season and who checked out the live stream on Sunday as well. If you did enjoy this one, please put a thumbs up on the video. Let me know in the comments where you think we're going to finish this season. For me, I'm actually more optimistic despite losing that game. The performance was brilliant. If we can get that left winger in and he can score some of those chances, I think we might be alright. But we will need 3 or 4 more because with injuries we can't work on a 17-man squad. So I'm hoping that will happen over the next week or so. 5 days left in the transfer window. You'll be able to judge my mood when I come back next time. Or maybe it'll be early for the Sporting Lisbon job, in which case I'll be absolutely beaming. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel for daily FM20 content from these 2 long-term stories. This one will be back on Thursday, of course, as we hopefully have some good news from the end of the transfer window. And tomorrow we'll have our Dorking Wanderers save. We're settling to life in the English second tier as well, a couple of seasons further in the future in that one. So please do come and show your support for that, and put a link to the series in the eye above. On Sunday we had the debut of our Stadium Review series, Review the 92. That will continue every Sunday at the normal time of 4:30. So a big thank you for checking that out. And again, please do give it a try if you're a fan of football. And finally, this Sunday at midday will be the debut of our FM network career. So myself going head to head against other opponents over the course of a season with similarly ranked clubs. It's going to be a cracker, this one. So please do come and check that out as well. Lots of exciting content. I'm really enjoying making it at the moment, and I just hope you get to enjoy it as much. I hope I can provide you with some entertainment and light relief at this difficult time. So thank you very much for continuing to watch, and hopefully I'll see you next time.